right, on this episode of Low Budget Garage, first, my wife wants to interrupt my intro, but we find a problem, fix a problem, find another problem, get some stuff done, and the car may or may not be ready to drive. Let's get to work. How not to fix a problem with Randy. Create one, create a big one. There's a broken header bolt. I was re-listening to some audio and I was like, that's an exhaust gasket leak. So I was tightening up everything, tightened up that side, came over here. I guess if you have to snap one off, that's the one you want to snap off. But yeah. So once I snapped that one off, I fired the engine up because I wanted to hear if the sound was the same. And the sound over here is the exact same as the sound over there. So definitely an exhaust leak. Well, let's see how bad this bolt is broke off in there. Maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be just enough sticking out where I can put some vice grips on it, spin it out. I gotta tell y'all something. I'm leaking antifreeze all over. But listen, there was just enough sticking out where the vice grips could clamp on. My needle nose vice grips could clamp on, and I was able to spin it out. I'll take it. All right, new day. Still waiting on my header gaskets to show up. Old Auspice can't get their act together lately. So, all right, let's talk about a couple things. One, I gotta get my exhaust dialed in. Right now, I just got long pipes going to the back of the car, hung a couple mufflers. It was just temporary. So let's get the exhaust built, start going over the car. Once the header gasket comes in, or both of them, we'll get the header gaskets on, get the car a little bit put back together, kind of start getting everything wiped down, and I'm just gonna double check everything. As you can see, it's kind of just one long straight pipe to my muffler, and then it ends there. So I'm going to, I think, throw the mufflers right up underneath in here somewhere, run some pipe, so. Pretty decent. All right, let's get all this broken down, muffler slid over. We'll get the muffler in place. All right, mocking everything up. Everything is currently being held with exhaust clamps. I mean, it is what it is. It's gonna all get welded up eventually. That's a cheap screw-on tip, but I'll from the backside to hold it into place. It'll be fine. So I got the driver's side done. And I'm getting the passenger side mocked up now. As you can see, the angle on that one isn't quite right. But again, if you're new to the channel, those are just cheap single chamber mufflers off of old Scamazon. I need to run up to the parts store, get a few more. I'm kind of just making some hangers as I'm going. I know I need to weld it right now. I know I do. You know I know, I know you know, we all know what we know. I also know that I leave for Connecticut soon, and if I want to have any chance of driving this car whatsoever, I can always weld this up later, right? I can always just drop the hangers and whole thing comes down and we can Zeus it all up. It'll be fine. I did go ahead and pick up some more header flange gaskets, just because the other ones were kind of clapped out. So we make another run to the parts store, get 3 more exhaust clamps, and hopefully by the time I get back, old Auspice will have ran and delivered my header gaskets, because I want to hear this thing running right, especially with the new exhaust. So very, very close. Went ahead and got my transmission pan bolts, checked them, got all them snugged up, kind of just looking underneath the car as I'm going. So everything so far is looking really good. Haven't found anything that's jumped out at me. I've just been spot checking nuts, bolts, you name it. So everything is tight, looking good. We're getting really, really close. I'm getting antsy. Finally! Yes! Okay, let's get the header gaskets on, get the last of that exhaust buttoned up, get this thing on the ground, get it fired up. Well, there's a good indicator that you got an exhaust leak from hell. Oh my goodness. So what I did was, these were, I want to show y'all the difference in the thickness there. Look at that. These are the Remflex, and then this is what came with the headers. There's no way these were going to seal up. Even if they were, you know, brand new. As thin as they are, man, that's just probably a lot of the issues I've been having. So these ones are nice and thick. They say they compress to 50% of their thickness. Guaranteed no leaks. Yeah, let's get it on. Let me turn the fan off so y'all can hear me a little bit better. My goodness. Okay. Man, this has been 6.5 hours later. All right, all the exhaust is built. Header gaskets are replaced. Plugs are back in, or the plug wire, sorry. Alternator's back on. Power steering pump pulley has been tightened down. And I topped the radiator back off from where I lost some. So the only thing to do now is to go get the keys, fired up, cross our fingers and hope that the exhaust tick went away. And then we can just focus on how sweet the exhaust sound is coming out the pipes. Well, there's just no winning. I was gonna open up the shop and bring the car out, tune on it, and so I got the car down on the ground. Oh, went to check the oil just to check it, and uh-oh. And it smells like coolant. I don't know if maybe when I noticed I had a couple leaks and I had missed a plug on the intake, very possible that coolant got down that way. So now I have to drain the oil, get another oil filter, put more oil in it, and hope that that goes away. And I need to retighten the header bolts, so looks like another trip to the parts store. Yay! All right, new filter's in, fresh oil is in. I went with cheap oil just in case I do have a problem. I have my vacuum gauge hooked up and I have my screwdriver. I really truly think this happened when I installed the intake and I thought I had all the plugs tightened up, and I in fact didn't. I did go through, since it's ran a little bit, and I retightened all of the intake bolts. I retightened all of the header bolts. So we're gonna start this thing back up. I'm gonna tune it by vacuum gauge, since I forgot again to get a timing light. But we'll tune it by vacuum for now, lock it down, and then we'll keep checking on this oil and see if we got a problem. Before I haven't pulled it, who's gonna place a bet? What's your thoughts? Lock them in. Let's see here. Oh yeah, fresh, clean oil. Perfect. Let's see. Just oil. Perfect. I thought that's all that happened. That makes me happy, at least. Well, I did a bunch of adjusting. I was playing with the vacuum gauge, watching the vacuum gauge, playing with my idle mixture screws, and then all of a sudden it just and died. Like, that's funny. So I was looking in the carb, no fuel's coming out. I'm also not making any fuel pressure. So somehow, some way, for some reason, I no longer have fuel. I don't know. I don't get it either. So that throws a wrench into things, don't it? Well, I guess on the next video, y'all are gonna watch me try to figure out why all of a sudden I got no gas. That's great. It is always something with this car, man. Anyways, listen, y'all have a good week. Thanks for watching. Sorry I couldn't get the car on the road. I'm trying. I'll see you next time.